Just tell us about what the guy I done was trying to say about, and also something about the civilians being killed, just which is being launched again and again by the Afghani president.
Okay. Well, today's debate of the Security Council on Afghanistan was an important in terms of that is the last meeting of the Security Council before the oncoming elections. And the meeting was based on a new assessment of the Secretary General, which was represented also by Kai Eide, the Special Representative, which a report that identifies a very important movement, as they call it, a strategic shift in Afghanistan towards civilian search, improvement of the governance, and also the alignment of the international help and assistance to the Afghan needs. A momentum that has been created that we should build on. It is just before the elections. And also, as you asked, there was another issue that how we can integrate the civilian and military efforts and how to focus on security, on political process before the elections, while trying to avoid civilian casualties, while trying to provide people with more protection. So I think the whole debate, the support for Afghanistan, the support for election, that was very important at a crucial time for Afghan people when they are going for the second time in their history for elections.
Did he actually one time give his position on the surge being activated by the Obama administration once the Afghanistan strategy? They have surge over there, Taliban. What did you speak about that?
The idea of civilian surge has been in many statements there, in my statement, and Kai Aide's statement. And the idea is how we can have more focus on civilian search. As you know, there are two civilian search programs. One, the United States civilian search program. One is the Afghan civilian search program. I mean, it is related with the military search. There are more forces now in place, and we hope that a combination of the more military presence in the country and a civilian search will help to stabilize the situation and will have a secure election.
Canada's reportedly pulling its, not extending its time in Afghanistan. Is that what do you think of that? Is that a useful?
The foreign minister of Canada was here, and he was speaking about the full support of his country's of stabilization process in Afghanistan and the commitment of Canada to remain with Afghans.
Not necessarily with a military presence. Isn't that?
He didn't. There was no idea about leaving. The statement of Canada was about how to help Afghans and how to help Afghans more.
Have you seen Patty Ashdown has said that the forces that are there in Afghanistan are not sufficiently coordinated? They're in fact losing. That's a statement that he's made. What do you make of that?
People have different views. In this debate today, there was again this issue of coordination. We achieved more, but there is more need for more coordination. Military civilian coordination, coordination with between the international community and the Afghan government. It is the role that UN is playing, and Kai Eide is playing, I think, in a much better way than before.
Did they speak anything about reducing the civilian casualty, which has always been the theme of President Karzai whenever he is
That was one of the important part of the debate. There was the concerns about how to avoid the civilian casualty was expressed, and the idea how to avoid it was expressed. Dr. Rice, the permanent representative of America, also expressed that how this rule of engagements has been reviewed. General McChrystal committed himself to how to limit air bombardments and how to take that issue of civilian casualty as a central issue. That was in my concern, that was the UN concern, that was the others' concern also. We are very happy also to see that there is a tendency, there is a decision how to avoid civilian casualties, how to minimize it.
And forgive me for this, but some are saying that President Karzai has assembled they call it a warlord ticket, Mr. Fahim in particular, and say that ministries have been promised to supporters. I'm saying others have said that. What do you make of that criticism?
This is what we read. There are political players in Afghanistan. None of them have no legitimate position. Whether you call them warlord or not, there are people who are vice presidents, who are ministers, who are members of the parliament, and any of the candidates, including President Karzai, try to have their support. So a man who is the Afghan marshal in defense of the country can be seen by others as warlord, but if he's not going to be with President Karzai, other candidates will try to have them with him. So these people, despite such a debate here, are the people with influence there, and some of them are in the parliament, some of them have been in the government, they were in the government. So if they support one or another